Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm just out enjoying myself, just doing a little bit of walking, looking around the hotel, and doing some thinking. And I was thinking about how things change as we grow and we mature. Life takes on different values. Things that we looked at one time to be important and how they change are not so important. I think about times when we have arguments with my wife, and then as we got older, we couldn't even remember what those arguments were. They just weren't that important. And and then I just kept going back and oh, here, wait a minute, here, let me show you something here. Right here is this is the swimming pool. We have a swimming pool, and it's over there. This is like a meeting room. And right below us is the bathrooms, changing rooms, showers, stuff like that. And right here is it's rubber. See these rubber things, and I don't know if you can see these little lines. I don't know if you can see little lines on there. Those little lines are tubes. And what it is, the water goes up and down, or down and up, or it goes one way or the other. I don't know how it goes. But the water goes through there. It's for solar heating. The water is solar heated for the swimming pool. Now, let's see if I can get you around here so you can see. Yeah, there you go. You see the big pipe? There it is. Yeah, there it is. The big pipe right there. And those little ones fit inside of it. And some way or another, the water runs through and it goes up or it comes down, one or the other, and it heats up the water. And that's how we heat up the water for the swimming pool. There we go. You see the other side. There's the other end of it right there. Right up there. Yeah, right there. That's where it is. So we have solar heating for the water of the pool. And you see, it's just PVC or rubber hose or something. PVC there goes up there, and but anyway, that's how it works. But anyway, I just thought I'd show that to you. But oh, and while I'm showing it to you, yeah, you see. I think that's swimming pool. Salon is the meeting room, and eventos for parties. What this is over here. And I say everything is concrete down here. So I see this is the roof for the bathrooms, changing rooms. You got little glass squares, and that's what brings in the light for downstairs, or the changing room. Okay, now this is for the kids to play. We're all playing over there. And right now it's 5 o'clock, and they close the pool at 5. I don't know what time they open. Probably about 9 o'clock or so. But anyway, what I was thinking when I was a kid, the earliest I can remember is I wanted to be a cowboy. That was the earliest thing I can remember. And the youngest pictures that they have of me, it's when I had the chaps and vests and my 6 guns and that type of stuff. So that's that was what I remembered also. Well, I remember I used to, I say we had a restaurant, but I was too young to work at the restaurant, and so I worked on a farm. So not much work, but like I say, so I did ride ponies and all this type of stuff when I was younger. And like I say, I drove tractors, and at that time the pickups, they had you pull this toggle switch out, not toggle, cable run switch, like in the early 50 pickups. You pull that out, and that was a throttle. I was too young, or I was too little. I couldn't reach the clutch and all that kind of stuff. And so you put it in granny gear, and then they just let it out, and then they'd pull the throttle thing out, and then that would go, and I'd be doing I'd just drive it while people were picking corn, or whatever it was we needed to do, baling hay or whatever. So I remember that. And also, at that time, I thought what I wanted to be was a stunt man. Oh man, I love doing things. I've always been active. I got good mental and physical together. They work together. My mental and physical strengths work together. So I've been able to do a lot of really cool things. And especially, like I say, when I got riding a motorcycle, probably 12 years old, something like that. Had my own motorcycle, and I'd be running around. So I'd be doing stunts and stuff like that. And this was back in the days when nobody was doing that kind of stunts. So that's what maybe gave me the idea of wanting to be a stunt man. So I could do all these real cool stuff. I mean, kind of like a daredevil. I don't even know if they even do daredevils anymore. But anyway, I would do daredevil stuff, stunts and stuff like that. That really, I really thought I was cool. And then it came to a time when I started getting a little older, probably about 14, something like that. Now, this is back in the racial days. We had racial problems. And at that time, I wanted to grow up and be the right-hand man. The right-hand man of somebody real wealthy. Somebody that went places and did things, had businesses and stuff like that. Because like I say, even at that time, I was running restaurants. I was the only one, I could speak more English than anybody else. So I would be running restaurants, and because I knew how they already ran, and so then when they needed somebody to translate and do all that kind of stuff, I don't speak Spanish or Chinese, but I knew what needed to be done, and then they would tell me this, so and so needs to be done. So I would either teach the help how to do it, or or if we opened new restaurants, I'd be the one that would coordinate everything. And and I say, and the idea, I thought I would be some really wealthy guy that has different kinds of businesses. I love business. I understand business. So then I thought, okay, I'd be his right-hand man. In other words, make sure these businesses are going. He'd go around, check the businesses. I would go around while he's checking the books and all this stuff. I can go around and do a visual and see a lot of stuff. And then, like at the same time, 14 years old, and let's see, at that time I was up about in Kansas and right around the Kansas-Oklahoma line, country stuff. And so I already knew how to use weapons and stuff like that. Like I say, the racial problems, I knew how to do fighting, so I could be halfway a bodyguard and halfway, run the businesses and all this stuff. And I have a support system already in place. And but anyway, this is what I thought I was going to do when I grow up. So, and it's funny. I do the cowboy stuff to have fun, And I say this, really when I was training SWAT teams, it was kind of like a stuntman. I mean, I was doing jumping out of buildings, rappelling, going through windows. I did all kinds of really cool stuff. And then, like I say, of course, the weapons and the fighting, and I had to fight without, I could hurt people without doing permanent damage to them. You know, SWAT teams, I'd hurt them when they make a mistake, and then take away the hurt when we got done. So it was kind of interesting. And but like I say, I was just thinking how odd it is. When you're a little kid, you think of something. I guess everybody's like me. They thought about, you know, oh, I wanted to be a fireman or something like that. Well, I never was being a fireman. Not until I was 60-some years old. And then, like I say, I started taking fireman classes with the volunteer fire department. So, and like I say, I have fought fires. When they're short of help, they give me, that's the advantage of being in a small community. They don't have the manpower. So whenever they need help, they would ask for help. That's where I push the three-man militia. The three-man militia has all these different kinds of skills. And all these skills benefit the local community. And so, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I've learned so many little skills. Well, the skills aren't little, but I've learned a little bit about lots and lots of different things. And so that's why I'm able to do all this stuff. And I'm not the perfect guy to do it, but in a pinch and nobody can do it, I can do it. So I'll get it done one way or the other. So problem solving is one of the things that I really got into, and I continue doing it even now. So it's interesting. It's really interesting. So try to maybe think back on when you were a kid and some of the dreams and ideals that you had gone, and see how they've applied to your life and where you are now. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.